Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. We are back, we are live, and before we get into today's video, I've got one small favour to ask of you today. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. We're literally just about to hit 43,000, so if you are watching for the first time, make sure you subscribe. I'm live every single morning, bringing you all of the latest news on Manchester United. So, huge show today, guys. Massive show. Some massive breaking news that came out last night in relation to Viktor Gyökeres. So really excited to get into all of that. Do make sure to drop a like on today's video. We've set a likes target of 1,000 for this episode. So please go and do that now if you haven't already. So the question for you this morning is going to be this. And it's a topic that we seem to be discussing non-stop at the moment. Let me just get my other little light on here. It's a bit dark. 1 second. There you go, that's better. All right, cool. Bit more light now. Huge topic. I want you to pick. If Manchester United could sign either Viktor Gyökeres or Osimhen, who would you go for? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to get you guys' thoughts. We're going to run a little poll. The question is going to be simple. It's going to be this. Who would you rather? We're going to do Osimhen. And we are going to do Gyökeres. So yeah, if you are watching this video live, get involved in that poll. If you're watching the video back on repeat, make sure you get in the comment section right now and let me know your answer to this question. Who are you going for? Are you going for Gyökeres or are you going for Osimhen? So we're going to start the show off by talking about Viktor Gyökeres because there is some massive breaking news that has come out this morning, being widely reported in the media. I'm going to tell you where the sources come from, and I'm going to read the exact quote. All right. So this is the exact quote. So this is coming out from Sky Sports. This is coming out from Florian Plettenberg in Germany. It's coming out from a couple of other people as well. And the headline this morning, it came out about 11:30 p.m. last night, UK time. Sporting have now officially given Viktor Gyökeres the assurance that he will now be allowed to leave this summer for 60 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons, 70 million euros total package. So it looks like this one's back on, people. Obviously, we heard a couple of days ago that Sporting were demanding 100 million for him, 90 million for him. You know, these stupid amounts of money were being thrown around and people were sat here saying, you know, he's not worth 100 million. That's ridiculous. What happened to this gentleman's agreement? And it seems like the media have now been briefed that this is incorrect. I personally think what happened here, right, is Sporting thought, well, someone's going to give us 100 million for him. Let's try our luck. But in reality, that's not going to happen. Arsenal are interested in Sesko. Chelsea have just got Liam Delap. I just don't personally think that anybody's going to give Sporting Lisbon 100 million for Gyökeres. And they've probably just realised that 60, 70 million euros isn't bad. That's a good price. I think they paid maybe like 10 million for him from Coventry. They're still going to make a vast amount of profit on this deal. Yes, he's one of the best strikers in the world at the moment, but at the same time, they can't outprice him. And obviously, we know that they had this gentleman's agreement, but we did speak about this on the show, actually, this whole gentleman's agreement thing. So if anybody doesn't understand what exactly happened with this gentleman's agreement, so effectively what happened is last summer, Viktor Gyökeres wanted to leave Sporting Lisbon. They managed to convince him to stay. Obviously, Ruben Amorim was still the manager. They said, you know, we're going to go on to do more good things next season, stay for one more year. And he said, you know what, I'll stay for one more year. But in the summer of 2025, which is now, I want to be able to leave for 60 million plus 10 million in add-ons, right? And they said, no problem at all. You know, they shook hands and they walked away. Now, what happened since then was the director of football who was responsible for orchestrating this gentleman's agreement has now left, and there is a new director of football in place. So effectively, the gentleman's agreement was between the old Sporting director and Viktor Gyökeres and his agent, but he is now gone. He's no longer there. The new Sporting director has now come in, and he's effectively saying, no, we want 100 million, we want 100 million. It's stupid. I think what it is a new person comes into a football club who has some level of power. You know, a director of football is quite high up in a football club. And they're effectively coming in saying, no, we're not doing that. They're effectively just trying to make themselves feel powerful, make themselves feel heard. And, oh, we've got a sneeze coming. I get it. You know, that's how football works sometimes. People want to feel like they're powerful. And I feel like that's what's happened here with the Sporting Lisbon new director of football. You know, he wants to speak to the media. He wants to feel heard. He wants to feel important. And he's got that. Everybody's talking about this topic. You know, every single news outlet in the world, every single Manchester United fan is talking about this sporting director, saying, oh, he's done this, he's done that, or, you know. So he's got what he wanted. But at the same time, now, this story this morning saying that apparently they will honour the original agreement. I think that this is very, very positive, and I think that this means that we are moving in the right direction with this deal. So hopefully the next couple of days we'll get some more news. Obviously, the transfer window is currently closed, remember, people. It opens again on Monday. So at the moment, there's not going to be that much really happening because we have to wait for the window to open again. But Fabrizio is reporting that apparently Manchester United are speaking to Gyökeres every single day at the moment. So there is a non-stop conversation going between the two camps. I think this one's going to happen. I would be very, very surprised if Manchester United don't sign Gyökeres. I just think it makes a lot of sense. He's worked with Ruben Amorim for 60, 70 million euros. It's a very, very good bit of business. The wages aren't going to be a problem. You know, he's only on about 40 grand a week at Sporting at the moment. So, you know, he's not going to demand 400 grand a week. That would be ridiculous. It'll probably be around 200, I imagine. So, yeah, I'm feeling positive about this one, guys. I think a deal will probably get done. I think it'll be before the pre-season tour. So, Manchester United's pre-season tour, let's have a little look when it starts. I think it's in about 4 weeks, roughly. Is it July? Yeah, 19th of July is our first game of the tour. I imagine they'll probably fly out like a week earlier, possibly. So the 19th of July is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 5 weeks today is the beginning of pre-season. And we have got five games. We play Leeds United, West Ham, Bournemouth, Everton, and Fiorentina. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident that we will... I'm pretty confident that we will get this one over the line, to be honest. So it's just a waiting game. Obviously, there is a release clause, but Manchester United don't want to pay it, which I agree with. He's not worth 100 million euros. That's stupid. So it's just going to be a case of negotiating. But we all know that we have an incredibly good relationship with Sporting Lisbon. You know, even if you go back to the days when we bought Ronaldo from there, we bought Nani from there. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes came from there. Ruben Amorim's come from there. So we have a very, very good, strong relationship with Ruben Amorim. So that's positive. And I think this one will probably get done. But moving on from there, let's talk a little bit about Bryan Mbeumo, because there is a report coming out this morning that apparently Manchester United are set to make a second bid for Bryan Mbeumo, apparently around 60 million. That's what Brentford are asking, and they want 60 million up front. How do people feel about that? Do you think Bryan Mbeumo is worth 60 million pounds up front? Would you be happy with that deal? Do you think it's good business? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I think, from my perspective, I think 60 million is fine. I think it's at the very, very top end before questions have to start being asked. But I think, you know, in the grand scheme of things, 60 million isn't a bad price for Bryan Mbeumo. He got 20 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League last season. He's Premier League proven. He's 25 years of age. He is exactly what we need by way of profile. He knows the league. He won't take any time to kind of gel in. And I think a good kind of reference point here is looking at when Chelsea sold Kai Havertz to Arsenal. Again, Kai Havertz was Premier League proven at that point. He moved from one London club to another, from one rival to another, from one top 4 club to another. And he went for 75 million euros, which is, I think it's a little bit more than 60 million pounds, actually. Let me just do a quick conversion. Yeah, it's about 65 million pounds. That was how much Kai Havertz cost Arsenal when he moved from Chelsea to Arsenal. And I think he's a relatively good comparison. At the point of purchase, he was just about to turn 25. So he's the same age as Bryan Mbeumo. I would say he's probably less prolific than Bryan Mbeumo, to be honest. If you have a look at Kai Havertz's stats in the season that he left Chelsea, that was the 22 to 23 season. That season, Kai Havertz for Chelsea, where is it? Here it is. I'm not. Maybe you disagree about this comparison, but I think it's a relatively decent comparison. You know, they're both Premier League players. So Kai Havertz in the season where he left Chelsea got 7 goals and 1 assist, and he cost Arsenal 75 million euros, and that was for 7 goals and 1 assist. Whereas we're talking about getting Bryan Mbeumo from Brentford, who are not as good as Chelsea, let's be honest, and we are going to pay around 60 million, so about 5 million less than what Arsenal paid for Kai Havertz. So I think it's a good deal. I think, as I said, it's kind of at the very high end of where I would feel comfortable with. I think anything more than that would maybe be a little bit of a question mark, a bit of a red flag. But yeah, I think if we can do it for 60 million, there's not going to be any complaints from my end. Let's do a little poll, see what people think. So the results of the first poll, 71% of people think we should go for Gyökeres and 29% of you think we should go for Osimhen. So thank you very much for that. Just a quick one. We've got over 500 people watching the video live now, which is absolutely amazing. We have only got 93 likes though on this episode. So if you are watching, please make sure to like and be sure to subscribe as well. Let's do this. Would you be happy with 60 million for Bryan Mbeumo? There you go. Everyone can get involved in that poll. It is now live. Would you be happy with 60 million for Bryan Mbeumo? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section if you're watching this video back on repeat. Yeah, I would be, in short. I think we need him. The thought of Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, and Gyökeres being our attack for next season excites me a lot. I think it'd be very, very, very much an improvement on what we have at the moment. And I can see some people even saying on Twitter and on a video we did yesterday that they think Xerxes would actually work quite well in that front three. Not starting every game, but... And I kind of get that, to be fair. Imagine Xerxes, Cunha and Mbuemo. I think it would actually work. Like I said, not as the first choice option, but I think Xerxes could actually complement those two players. So we would have quite a lot of options there. Obviously, we'd still have Chido Obi. Højlund, I don't know what's going to happen with Højlund. I'd probably either loan him or sell him. But yeah, we would have options. So that is positive. Like I said, though, guys, remember the window doesn't open again until I think it's Monday. So it's probably going to be relatively quiet until Monday. There'll be lots and lots of news. There'll be lots and lots of stories coming around. But until Monday, I don't think we'll get a here we go. I don't think. So yeah, we'll see what happens, though. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. James says Gyökeres' agent has come out saying that he has found written evidence saying that there is an agreement between the two clubs. Yeah, sorry, between the agent and the club. Yeah, I did see that story, James, that apparently they have written evidence of this gentleman's agreement. But if you're joining late, the story coming out of pretty much every mainstream media this morning is that Sporting have now agreed to honour this gentleman's agreement, and they will sell him for 60 to 70 million euros, including add-ons. So we can kind of forget about this saga in that sense, because there was a lot of confusion. But it looks like now that has kind of been resolved. So that's really, really positive. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat this morning. Quite a few people are saying that they think Mbuemo's worth the money. 93% of people watching the video this morning, guys, have said that they think Mbuemo's worth 60 million. I think he is. I mean, you don't get 20 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League. Now, just to give you the full picture, there is a story this morning as well saying that apparently Tottenham are also interested in signing Bryan Mbeumo. Obviously, we know that Thomas Frank is the new Tottenham manager, and there are some people saying that this gives Tottenham an advantage. I don't see it. I mean, Bryan Mbeumo is a Manchester United fan. We've heard for weeks that he only wants to come to Manchester United, right? Why would he now suddenly want to join Tottenham? I just don't think it's true, personally. But yeah, we'll see. I just don't personally think it's true. I mean, if we lose Mbuemo to Tottenham, that would be absolutely disastrous. It'd be heartbreaking. having already lost to them in the Europa League final, having already been absolutely humiliated, if we were then to lose Mbuemo as well, yeah, it would be humiliating. It would be truly, truly humiliating. So, yeah, I don't think that will happen. I think he'll become a Manchester United player. I would be honestly stunned if he ends up at Tottenham. But, I mean, if we don't put in the bid, then maybe he does. You know, if Tottenham come along and say, here's £75 million, maybe he does end up there. But I'm confident if we give them the 60 million that they want, we will get him. You know, obviously the Thomas Frank situation makes it a little bit more complicated. The fact that Thomas Frank is now the Tottenham manager, the fact that Mbuemo's had a really, really good career under Thomas Frank. But I'm still not too worried about the situation. I think a lot of this is media driven. We don't know where these links have come from. It could be that Brentford are briefing the media that Tottenham want to sign him. You know, like we don't know for a fact that Tottenham are as keen as they're being made out to be. It's a very easy story for the media to write, to say that, you know, Tottenham have entered the race. Tottenham want to sign him. Thomas Frank's the new manager. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about it right now, personally. But obviously, we'll see how it all kind of plays out. But moving on from there, let's have a look what we have planned for next. There's lots to get into, I think, at the moment, isn't there? The transfer window is starting to build up, guys, and I'm getting excited about it. I love the transfer window. It's the most exciting time of the year. And then the football starts and everyone gets depressed again. Oh, dear. In relation to outgoings, it's gone a little bit quiet, which is a bit of a worry. Garnacho, I don't know. Rashford, I don't know. Sancho, I don't know. I just hope that we manage to get some deals over the line for some exits. Yeah, we need to clear some players out and we need to do it soon, realistically. Like, that has to happen. I mean, what's going on with Antony? There's reports this morning saying that Manchester United want 50 million euros for Antony. I mean, that's not going to happen, I don't think, guys. As much as I would like to see Antony leave Manchester United, 50 million euros, I think it's a little bit over the top. I just can't see it. Hopefully I'm wrong. You know, hopefully Antony goes for 50 million and I just don't see it personally. But yes. I am going to leave the video here, I think. I've gone through everything we needed to talk about today. Yeah, if anything breaks during the day, I will go live. I've got quite a busy day today, so I've really got to go and get on. But yeah, thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with me, everybody. Please do me a favour as you leave. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really, really helps me out. And be sure to subscribe as well. I'm live every single day. Great community here. Love doing this show. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Have an amazing day. If anything breaks, I will go live. So make sure your notification bell is on. Speak to you all later. Bye for now.